Anurag sir. I am here to teach you about the mathematics classes essential for IITs and various exams in India. I will discuss all the topics related to the syllabus of different boards, especially the CBSE. Today my topic is introduction of complex number. So before I will start, I want to ask you, or I want to know that you must know about the real numbers. You must have read real numbers. Real numbers means all rational and irrational. About real number, we all are aware of it. Now take an example. Suppose we want to find the square root of minus 4. So how can we find the square root of minus 4? So before going to this question, let us try to find the square root of 4. And quickly you can say that the square root of 4 is plus minus 2. Why? Why? Because square of 2 is 4 and also the square of minus 2 is 4. So square root of 4 is plus minus 2 because the square of 2 is 4 and the square of minus 2 is also 4. So how can we find the square root of minus 4? Let us try to find it. Minus 4 can be written as minus 1 into 4. Again, it will be the square root of 4, which is plus minus 2. But what about the square root of minus 1? Students, can we find any number whose square is minus 1? No. There is no real number. There is no real number whose square is minus 1. Therefore, we cannot find the square root of minus 1. So what will we do? For that, I will take an imaginary number to simplify this question. We take the square root of minus 1 as iota. This is the symbol known as iota. So square root of minus 1 is taken as iota, where iota is not real. It is an imaginary number. So what is the square root of minus 1? Imaginary number. So if we write square root of minus 1 is iota, it means iota square is equal to minus 1. So, dear student, we all know that the square of every real number is always positive. There is no any real number whose square is negative. Therefore, under root minus 1 cannot be found in the set of real number. That is why we have taken an imaginary number iota, and suppose that iota square is equal to minus 1. So how can we define the imaginary number? I think you may have understood the concept of under root minus 1. So how can we define the imaginary number? We can write as an imaginary number iota is defined as that number whose square is -1. So we have taken iota as an imaginary number, and suppose that iota square is -1. So you must have to remember it that a square of all real number are always positive, but the square of imaginary number is negative. Getting the difference between imaginary number and real number, you must have. So what we find, iota square is equal to -1, and iota is the square root of -1. What happens if we square both sides for this relation? Then iota square whole square, it becomes iota to the power 4, and -1 whole square becomes 1. So iota to the power 4 is equal to 1. And again, if you multiply both sides by iota, then iota square into iota will be iota cube, and -1 into iota will be minus iota. Therefore, we simplify on 4 important formulas related to imaginary number. The first one is iota is equal to root under -1. You can note it. Iota square is equal to -1. Iota cube is equal to minus iota, and iota to the power 4 is equal to 1. These 4 are the important relation related to imaginary number. Let us try to solve some general example based upon these formulas. Examples. What will be the values of I to the power 61? We can write I to the power 61 as I to the power 4 into 15 plus 1. 15 4 the 60 and 161. This can be written as iota to the power 4 into 15 into iota to the power 1. Again it will be iota to the power 4 whole to the power 15 into iota, and by this formula iota to the power 4 is equal to 1. So iota to the power 4 will become 1. 1 to the power 15 into iota means 1 into iota, and it will be iota. So we can say that iota to the power 61 will be equal to iota. Let us take some another examples. For this I am going to erase it. Take another example I am taking. If the power is a multiple of 4, suppose iota to the power 64, then very easily you can conclude that it is iota to the power 4 multiplied by 16, and that will be iota to the power 4 whole to the power 16. As we have discussed, iota to the power 4 is nothing but 1. So 1 to the power 16, that is 1. So if the power of iota is a multiple of 4, then its answer must be 1. And for another power, we have to see the remainder. If the remainder is 1, when the number is divided by 4, the remainder is 1, your answer will be iota. But if the remainder is 2, then the answer will be iota square, which is -1. And if by dividing the number, the remainder is 3, then the answer will be iota cube, that is minus iota. So very easily we can conclude that iota to the power, suppose I am taking 733. Take another example, iota to the power 733. So what will you have to do? You have to just divide 733 by 4. So very easily you can conclude that it will be 4 1 ja 4, 4 8 ja 32 and 4 3 ja 12 plus 1. So very easily you can say that 1 will be the remainder when 733 is going to be divided by 4. So in short, you can conclude very easily that answer will be iota to the power 1. This remainder will be in the power. And finally, iota will be the answer. By seeing these examples, now we can conclude to some basic general formulas like I to the power 4n, where n is any positive integer. It may be negative also. So let us write it any integer. N is any integer. Then I to the power 4n will be 1 in all cases. Number 2, I to the power 4n plus 1. So we have discussed in our example that here 1 will be the remainder by dividing it 4. So the answer will be iota to the power 1 means iota. And if it is iota to the power 4n plus 2, then your answer will be iota square, which will be minus 1. And iota to the power 4n plus 3, then the remainder is 3. So it will be I cube and your answer will be minus iota. So generally we have concluded that iota to the power 4n is equal to 1, 4n plus 1, then iota, 4n plus 2 minus 1, 4n plus 3 minus iota. So upon these formulas, we can solve various questions based upon imaginary number. So the introduction of complex number needs the basic ideas of imaginary number. Now I am going to erase it. I think you must have written all those formulas. So by seeing the formulas on imaginary number, now we are ready to discuss about complex number. What is a complex number? So a complex number is defined as a combination of, so again I am repeating, a complex number is defined as a combination of real and imaginary number in the form x plus iota y, where x and y are real and iota, as you know, that imaginary number whose value is the square root of minus 1. A complex number is generally denoted by Z. Therefore, Z is equal to x plus iota y is the general form of complex number. Also, set of complex number is denoted by C. Therefore, the complex number Z belongs to the set of complex number C. Some examples of complex number may be like this: 2 plus 3 iota, 4 minus iota, 5 plus 7 by 2 iota, etc. In all these numbers you can see that 2 and 3 are real, 4 is real, minus 1 is real, 5 is real, 7 by 2 is real, but an imaginary number iota is always there. So for a complex number it is necessary that iota must be there. The next question is, can we take 5 as complex number? Yes, because 5 can be written as 5 plus iota into 0, where 5 and 0 both are real and iota is imaginary. So every real number can be written like this. So we can say that all real numbers are complex, but all complex numbers are not real. Thank you, students. In today's class we have discussed about introduction of complex number. What is the complex number? I have shown you in these examples. In next class we will discuss upon the properties of complex number. So students, what do you think? If you like these videos, then please press bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.